Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Magic and Miracles, where you learn how to be the magician of your life. My name is Anna, and I created Magic and Miracles with one sole purpose: to help people of all walks of life achieve their manifestation goals. All the information from me is below. On this channel, we specifically discuss specific people and all that it entails, but primarily and most importantly, we discuss how to become the better version of yourself so that not only your SP can run back to you, but the whole life, the entire landscape of your life and your lifestyle could really level up and change majorly. Okay, in order to be in my coaching, you need to pre-book. I recommend the signature package, which is the amalgamation of all the methods, of all the knowledge that I've acquired throughout the last 15 years of my own journey and throughout the last 9 years of being a coach. 2 years on YouTube and 7 years outside YouTube, coaching all sorts of mainly entertainment people, stand-up comedians, actors, singers, that kind of folk. I still coach them, but I decided to start this channel and I talked about various topics and inevitably people asked me to talk about SPs, and this is what we're doing here 2 years later. Okay, in order to be in my coaching, again, you need to pre-book, sign the coaching agreement, and understand I'm only one person, first come, first serve, and I'm getting booked up every single day. So it's in your best interest to book accordingly and right away if you want to be helped right away. I also offer installments, okay, through Affirm, Klarna, and Afterpay. The links are in the description box, but also underneath every description of the package, you will find a link. Okay, sometimes it won't be a clickable link in the case of my second website, which is directly linked to the YouTube, but you will still be able to copy and paste it into the browser and it will take you into the section where you can arrange your payment installments. Now, this is only available for the people in United States. I'm very sorry. I'm still investigating if it's possible to do it elsewhere in the world or all over the world. Why not? I'm actually quite shocked that it's not available, but this is what I'm learning. I'm always learning about technology, and you know how much I fucking love technology, okay? And also, hit the like and subscribe. If you're new to this channel, you will truly learn a lot on this channel like nowhere else, I promise you. So, we have a busy curriculum for this video. I've been very, very busy all week. And this is why I'm recording it not on Monday, not on Tuesday, but on Thursday, darling loves. And so, number one, I want to really encourage you to subscribe for the lives, the weekly lives package. I decided, I've been thinking about this. I gave it some thought about the lives on YouTube. And truth be told, it has been very tumultuous for me, especially since March of last year. Some of you know what's been happening, some of you don't. It truly doesn't matter. For me, what matters most is to offer a really safe haven on this channel and to be completely away from all the hate, from all the dark energies, and to really learn and prosper from this advice that I'm giving. And so what I'm offering, it's $98 a month. Okay, this is $25 per live. You will be able to directly ask the question with your voice via Zoom, okay? You will be able to receive guidance one-on-one. This is introduction into coaching. This is your way of sampling coaching. And for those who no longer need coaching but still want to keep up, it's just as important and just as beneficial because, again, the energy, I can stress enough, will be completely different. Everybody who joins and who attends is going to be a friendly person, a benevolent person. And it really just resonates with me to do things in this way rather than in any other way for many reasons that I already discussed, but also to level up my game, my personal game, in terms of the kind of quality of experience that I deliver, which I already spoke about. My sole purpose on this channel is to deliver the highest quality of coaching for those who need it. And so the haters, I won't even give them the opportunity to reach me in any shape or form and pollute the experience for those who really need help. Okay, so I want to encourage you to do that. And lastly, I want to mention, I do recommend 2 to 3 months in coaching with me. That's absolutely mandatory. Some people, 2 months is okay, but 3 months on average is what I need to quantum leap your life into the golden Buddha status. Give me 3 months out of your life and I will revolutionize your life. That is a promise. Unless you resist me, unless you don't follow along, unless our interests are simply not aligned in taking you higher. For whatever reason, some people, very rarely, once or twice, it has happened to me that I'm just not able to get through to the person because you're just not willing. Okay, they're too resistant. So we're gonna start with this question from Nia, and Nia is a new subscriber, so welcome, Nia. And she is asking a very important question that I've addressed on my channel many times. And this is about an abusive SP. So I'm going to read the question and I'm going to answer as we go. Because I actually am kind of like really excited about answering this because I'm sure many other people will resonate. So Nia goes, "Hi Anna, you said in the video that abuse is excluded from this conversation." By the way, this is a comment for how to turn things around in your favor with your SP video, a recent one. So excluded from this conversation, and that if the person is abusive, you should leave. I disagree. But I want to know why you are saying this. Are you only talking about the physical abuse or psychological/emotional abuse as well? I'm talking about all abuse. And why should somebody leave when someone is abusive? Don't worry, I'll wait. I mean, isn't it obvious the reason why I would encourage that? Because I want my clients safe. I want my clients healthy, not just physically, but emotionally too. And I think if you're staying with somebody abusive, that's a choice, but you should recognize that that's an unhealthy choice. And I can say this because I have been in physically, emotionally, and psychologically abusive relationships. And the longer you stay, the more detriment it is to you. So this is entirely, my opinion is based on my personal experience as well as the proper guidance towards somebody who cannot reason well for themselves in that situation. Because again, being in an abusive cycle and accepting an abusive relationship is a dysfunction, is an addiction. Okay, you are addicted to a cycle, you need to break out of it. And if it won't be this SP, it will be the next SP and an SP after that. So I think the more interesting kind of like question would be, why are you even challenging me on that? Because maybe you're trying to excuse the fact that you are in an abusive relationship, or maybe you understand that you are and you don't want to accept that. Okay, this is why you felt like writing this long an email. Okay, so now then it goes on. Reason I disagree is since some people don't know that they're being abusive. Oh, they know. Oh, they know. Yes. Okay, and now I have to disagree. They're being abusive, or if you know, or if they know, or if you know that they were not abusive before, then I believe that you can change your mind enough about that person to select a non-abusive version of them. Are you saying that that once a person is abusive to you, that you will never be able to change your thoughts about them, so they will never change, and you need to stay away from them? Why would a different version of them be any different from selecting a different version of any specific person? Okay, you're correct, but here's the deal. In order to connect to that non-abusive version, you're gonna have to do the work on yourself, and it is not done staying with this person. You leaving this person is a demarcation of self-esteem of acknowledging that this is abuse, of standing up for yourself and not engaging in it anymore. Okay. And lots of times, you know, again, I want to stress the victim in a relationship like this is not always aware that this is abuse, because by now the abusive person has them so brainwashed that it doesn't seem like abuse anymore. And that's a scary situation to be in. And in my coaching, I've helped numerous men and women, women mostly, but men and women, and only because I feel like men don't seek help as much as they should, because they've been brainwashed by the society to toughen up and be tough and this and that, be strong and shove down their emotions. And so it becomes a very scary proposition to face these emotions, and this is why. But lots of women that have come into my coaching, I've helped them for sure to understand that something was abusive and they should not have put up with this, and it was not their fault. So it sounds to me, Nia, like not only are you in an abusive relationship, but you're trying to find excuses, quite frankly. Your best course of action is to leave this person, to get into coaching if I resonate with you or somebody else, and heal your own wound that produced this person to begin with. That would be my honest suggestion and advice. I don't fuck around with abuse. Why? Because yes, of course, it's possible to choose later on a version who would probably apologize to you. But by then, once you're healed, you don't even want to talk to a person like that, because there's too many memories of this person overstepping your value, treating you in ways that you can never forget. And even people who have come to me with, you know, different things like molestation and this and that, different very, very heartbreaking situations, guess what? You can never really forget. Okay, you can smooth out, you can revise, even in revision, you can smooth out certain parts, but you could for sure can never forget. And it becomes a question of, again, self-esteem, whether you want to be with a person who once upon a time treated you this way. It has nothing to do with not being able to forgive or replace them with a different version. It's just how much abuse has been going on already, how much abuse has gone on already, that you can never look at this person the same. You can forgive them, like I said. You can potentially, you know, entertain seeing a different version of them in the future. But I feel like in the most immediate present, you really need to take action to completely get as far away as possible from a person like this and do the work on yourself, and then decide whether or not you want to do it. Everything is possible. I just, in my 9 years of practice as a coach, I have yet to see somebody going back to an abusive partner. So that's that. Okay, now the topic of today, and I'm sorry if I'm being extremely honest, but that's the only way that I operate. I'm very honest coach, very direct. My directness will heal you. Today we're going to talk about, 13 minutes into it, but I felt like answering that very important question. The topic of today is change your energy and watch them run back to you. So again, I'm going to describe a process that takes place in my coaching over a period of 3 months. Okay, so don't make it, don't ask for a quick fix. It's not going to happen within a week or 2 weeks. In most cases, why my coaching is unlike any other coaching is because people come to me from many different coaches. Some of them, you know, for sure, you know. And the result is always the same, because nobody goes as deep as I do, okay? The reason why I'm able to achieve this change within the person, because number one, I'm genuinely interested in your success, but also I'm genuinely interested in what happened in your past, okay? So this can only happen if you have this deep dive. It doesn't happen overnight. I just want to stress this and manage expectations that some people may or may not have. So number one, understand your energy right now. If they're not reaching out, if you're not seeing them, it's because something within you keeps them at bay. Literally, it's like this. Now, you may not be consciously aware of this. You may not understand what it is you're doing, but it's your energy. You see, it's your assumptions. It's just automatically what do you go to by now. And if it's so automatic, you don't even have a chance to make a decision, which is why during a deep dive, those things come up. Those are the things that you no longer can verbalize, okay? Just like if somebody asked you, what are you really thinking all day? It's going to take you a minute to come up with this. Or you may tell me like, yeah, I want to go here, I want to go there, I want to work, I want to, to buy some groceries. But what are you really assuming and thinking? What are you really vibrating as? This is your energy. If you automatically assume that the SP has left and they prefer the third party or whatever the situation, or they just don't prefer you, okay? They're with different people throughout the years. I've heard all sorts of stories in my coaching, but they just don't prefer you for some reason. Something's so wrong with you, you know? I mean, most people in my coaching, they're people pleasers. So they automatically assume it's like just like their parent really brainwash them into thinking that something must be wrong with them. I've been there. Hi, how are you? My mom, being a narcissist, taught me that everything's my fault. Even, I mean, especially the things that were not my fault. So now you've downloaded the situation that it is my fault. I've got to do something. I've got to chase. I've got to prove. No, my darling, no. No. Pull that shit back. Number one, understand one simple thing, okay? Your energy rules the motherfucking world. Every single day you get up, you're the queen or the king of the world. That's it. You need to just understand it. It needs to click in. It needs to really arrange itself in your mind so that you stop, like I said in the previous video, go watch it by the way. I already forgot what it was called. Oh, how to reverse the roles permanently with USB. Watch the video because it tells you either you're a victim or you're the victor. Either you're a victor or you're the golden Buddha. Choose right now. But it's already been chosen for you, you see. You're always the golden Buddha. And so your energy dictates what they're going to do, what they're going to say, how they're going to behave. If you're in doubt, they're in doubt. If you're worried, they're worried. They're literally mirroring you 24/7, whatever it is that you're sending them telepathically. That's what they're catching. So if I talk to you one-on-one and I dive deep into the things that you've been telling them telepathically, it will be on the platter to you why you're not receiving the communication, the this and the that. In addition to that, okay, and perhaps I should have said, well, I kind of mentioned it in the first place. Your aura, your energy is polluted by drama, trauma, panorama, as I call it. What is drama, trauma, panorama for those newcomers? Is all the bullshit that you've lived before. Literally, mama, drama, panorama. Panorama, I don't know how it came about. Don't ask me, it's just what it is, okay? Some things are better left unexamined. It's just genius like that. And so you need to dive deep into the dirt. For a lot of people, very intimidating, like I always say, in order to find out how exactly did I create the situation, and how exactly is it that I continue reproducing this situation? Because it's just a mirror. You're sending out a signal. It's like an antenna. Your head, your mind is an antenna, and it beams information 24/7 to everybody. To everybody, yours be included. And so this is what happens in my coaching when people start energetically clearing themselves, when they start really demonstrating new behaviors, okay, and acting on their goals and becoming a different person right before my eyes. Things start to move. But you have to be bold about it, and you really have to trust me. You cannot like question my methods, because my methods always work. Yes, I'm this confident because it just fucking works. Okay, so your energy, it needs to start sending out a different signal. For example, I'm always chosen. Of course he's going to choose me. Duh. The third party it's a non-event. I created this third party, I can disintegrate the third party. Because it's true. It's just the out picturing of your consciousness. And so that third party, if you're obsessing about them, if you're giving him or her your energy, you're keeping them alive in your reality. Meaning, not, God forbid, let's not wish anything happened to them, but you're keeping them visible, better word, in your reality. As so long as you support their existence or this behavior of them ghosting you, blocking you, chupa chupa chu, and a part of you, and I know this to be true with my clients, is just accepting that. Well, wouldn't you know that would happen to me? Well, wouldn't you know that would block me? Or I was afraid that they would block me, and here it is. Or my worst fear is that somebody blocks me, and here it is. Why does it matter to you so much what other people do? I'll tell you a secret. Because you don't have a hold on your own emotions. If you did, if you really truly were powerful about your emotions, your opinion of yourself, okay, now the settings, they need to change. If you were to know 100%, just completely downloaded this into your mind, that you are indeed, in fact, the golden Buddha. What is a golden Buddha? Again, for beginners, is the ultimate highest version of yourself, who has the SP, has the money, has the job, career, the body, the health, whatever you want. Complete with all of these things. Yes, of course, you can have all these things. Okay, if you really know that you are the golden Buddha, nobody can fuck you. And you don't really care what people say because, or think, because you know what they're going to think. You're going to make them think that. You're not violating anybody's free will. You're just going to project out a new signal. And you, look, from 1 minute to the next, you can do that. But if you're not accustomed to this magical power that you have, that you've already been fucking exercising like your whole entire life, you just need to trace it back and look at the dysfunction that is happening, how you're not utilizing it into your favor. This is your magical power. From 1 minute to the next, you can orchestrate a complete shift into a different timeline where this person is now getting a different signal from you, because you're assuming I'm the greatest shit on earth, I'm the golden Buddha, there's nobody like me, the third party is whatever, gone already as it is, and they're chasing me now. Why? Because I've realized I'm the shit. If you're crying ice cream on the floor, melting for nobody's business, okay, because it's a waste of fucking time, you don't have any power. Write it down. If you're playing victim, if you're crying, melting ice cream on the floor, you don't have any power. You just gave it away. But if you're able to very elegantly, in a sophisticated, savvy manner, sit down like the lady or the gentleman that you are and be like, you know what? I feel like shit right now. Like, it happens to me too, momentarily, but very brief moments, because I know how to deal with it now. I know how to not descend into the darkness. I know how to reach for more light, even in the face of some bullshit, okay, momentarily. Bullshit is exciting if you make it exciting. Nothing that you cannot deal with, okay, in this world. But if you allow it to manipulate you versus manipulating it, that's where the problem begins. Okay, and so mentally becoming this strong that you're able to shift from 1 minute to the next is what I train people to do. Okay, your SP, he or she, make no mistake, they're always there for your taking. From 1 minute to the next. Your energy clears, you're no longer insecure, you're no longer in fear like you may have been all this time. You're no longer jealous of the third party, you're no longer resenting your SP, big one, big one, big one. That could be also in your energy. Listen, energetic world, like I keep talking on this channel, is how I learned manifestation. I was a very little girl, okay, and a bunch of things have happened to me with the energetic world. Some things that I've seen that I was not supposed to have seen that convinced me that the energy world is where it's fucking at. And since then, don't you know, I've upgraded my arsenal of weird shit that happened, weird By whose definition? Weird for this world, let's just say. Something that not everybody's able to do. Like, I read people, I read energy, and I'm never fucking wrong, let me tell you this. So, this is the power you have. And so from one minute to the next, realize I'm just not practicing my power right now. I can be with my SP if I just take care of my shit, you could say. And this is like, some of you come to me and you've been manifesting, it's a pattern. It's one SP after the other, the same shit show, and it just augments itself. You know, the most recent one is the most disastrous one. Okay, so clearly the universe is presenting to you one person after another to learn something, to face something from your consciousness, to understand something about you. Hey, you're off track, darling. It's not because the universe fucking hates you. No such thing going on. It's because you're going against yourself. And again, if I dive deep into your history, you will see that your decisions and your thoughts, most importantly, were directed towards the assumption that you're not good enough, that you're not enough, that you're a failure. Okay, so now you understand how for this person who thinks like this, or at the very least begin to understand, is impossible to manifest on purpose and keep this manifestation. So your energy, now you understand why the deep dive is so important, because it sets you up for life. I mean, truly, in my coaching, people learn things that they carry over to the rest of their life, for the rest of their life. Okay, this is indeed a lifestyle. So find out, either in coaching with me or maybe on your own, you can dig through it. It's definitely easier with a coach, I'm not gonna lie, because I'm very perceptive. It can really cut down the time that it takes you to manifest this dramatically. Excuse me. And 3 months, in my opinion, is like, it's a season. What can you do in 3 months on your own is drastically different from what you could do 3 months in coaching. Let me just say it like that, okay? And so you're commanding them right now. This is what is happening. If you're confused, you're commanding them to stay away, which is why they're staying away, okay? It's up to you with your, not only with your affirmations. This is why I'm not a fan of affirmations at all, because if you don't purely are not doing the work on yourself, the way your mind operates, you're not going anywhere. You're just like, no, 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 no. You know, it's okay, so then what? And you don't feel anything. Or some people say, yeah, all right, I manifested something short term, but I wasn't able to keep this SP. Okay, I rest my case. Moving on. Find out why you're thinking what you're thinking, and how it affects your decision making, how it affects your overall energy, how it affects your overall expectation of life. And that's the manifestation with your SP. Your SP is simply the messenger. The messenger who comes and tells you, hey, you're out of alignment, big fucking time, and all of these things. Like, if you really look at DSP's behavior, what they do for work, their character traits, etc., it very much has a story for you within their characteristics and how they're behaving, about how you think, about what you expect. It has the residue of all these other relationships from the past. There's some kind of a theme, basically. The other thing that I really, meant to say, and continue saying, but really meant to say in a big way to everybody who's listening, please understand that you cannot position yourself and think of yourself low and receive higher results. It is literally impossible, okay? It is literally impossible, because you're residing with that thinking on a certain frequency. In other words, if you think, again, my SP is better off without me, they're better, they're having more fun with the third party, blah, 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 blah. They've completely forgotten about me if you haven't heard from them, even if in years, I don't care how long it's been. And basically the universe is against me. So, okay, so you see right there, you've just positioned everything kind of not to your benefit. How do you know? This is where interpretation comes in, and I've spoken about this on my channel like numerous times. How do you know this person, having met you, that you weren't their catalyst? How do you know they didn't fucking freak out how real and beautiful and lovely and honest and generous, which most of, like 99.999% of my clients are mesmerizing people, just absolutely beautiful, stunning, gorgeous, magnificent beings. How do you know that they're not in absolute dismay how they've acted towards you? How do you know they're not on the brink of calling you up and crying their eyes out, begging you for mercy to take them back? But you see, you don't think this way right now. That's the outpicturing. It's like whatever story you've written for yourself, you're living out this fucking story right now. Darling, write a different story. But see, your mind, it has to shift into another gear, into another magnificent gear, calling on your golden Buddha status that has been there collecting fucking dust, okay? So you don't realize perhaps the effect you have on people. You don't give yourself the credit. You don't know that this guy or girl are not hung up over you even more than you are hung up over them. And telepathy is the realest shit in the world, because if you're thinking of them, they're thinking of you. Ever found yourself sometimes just suddenly thinking about somebody? Haven't thought about this person in fucking decades. Or a decade at least. Why the fuck am I thinking about them? But they're thinking about you. And so if you're thinking of them, this is the for sure sign, has been tested and proven, and even in my coaching and in my life, that they are obsessively thinking of you too. One-way love is a fantasy, okay? Like just like Madonna said in that song. I love that song, I Want You. So you're not realizing your value. You're not realizing that maybe you were extremely important to this person. Maybe you've revolutionized their life by showing up with your bright, magnificent energy, that you don't know that you're a golden Buddha. That's another story. But that you have affected them, that is for sure. And so to recap, you need to change your energy by changing your mind about who you are, what you represent in the world, what's permissible now for you to accept, how you think about yourself, how you value yourself, the conversations that you have with self. Start out with that. It's high time that you treated yourself like the golden Buddha of your world. You want to get a hold of this situation called manifestation. Start being the generator of the good energy, and admit to yourself that perhaps right now, you're going to get to a point in my coaching where you're going to feel when you're out of whack. Some people don't even feel it anymore. You know, that's a problem also. But you're going to feel, especially after my coaching, during my coaching, oh, I'm a little bit out of whack. I need to go meditate. I need to peacefully sit, maybe listen to some music, maybe read my gratitude list. Tons of tools I give you in my coaching, and I teach you energy work as well, which is bar none. I mean, I don't care what anybody says. It works every single time. It works. It's powerful shit. Okay, this is like manifestation on steroids. Okay, I'm so serious. I'm not even joking. But again, it works with your energy. Okay, so your energy needs to be cleansed in order for it to work well. Start with yourself, start with the generation of good energy, and understand that it starts with you. Only you can affect this change. Number two, clearing the past patterns. Recognizing is a pattern. It's a pattern for a reason. It's there to deliver a message to you. Don't ignore the fucking message. If you're going to ignore it, another SP, even worse, is going to show up. So just nip it in the bud right here, right now. I know maybe doesn't seem like nipping in the bud like decades and decades later, but understand that this is a pattern based on your thinking and you not accepting the good. Sometimes it's very hard to accept the good after so many, tumultuous situations back to back. Throughout the years, you get just numb towards things. And I've been there as well. But unnumb yourself, and again, can help you in coaching very effectively. Maybe your heart is an iceberg today. And that is a problem as well, because your heart creates very powerfully. So clearing the past patterns. And finally, changing your mind about the situation, which I already spoke on. Of course, interpretation. How am I interpreting the situation means everything to my manifestation. If I'm interpreting this in my favor, no matter what the fuck it looks like, it will turn into my favor. Guaranteed. If I'm sitting there feeling horrible and worried and obsessing and crying and begging and chasing and doing all this fucking nonsensical bullshit, well, don't worry, I'll wait. As I say, what do you think is going to be the result? Okay? Your interpretation about the situation has to make peace totally with what has happened thus far in the relationship, and clearly understand that you have not approached the situation from the point of view of a victor. If you're approaching right away with the default setting is that I'm assuming this is against me, I'm assuming that I'm a loser, I'm assuming that that the universe is against me, again, what do you think is going to happen? But if I'm going into the interpretation like I'm fully equipped with this knowledge that I've heard on Magic and Miracles channel, you're welcome, and now I'm going to act on my status of the Golden Buddha. And if I'm the motherfucking Golden Buddha and everything is in my favor, then this SP that right now, okay, that I'm thinking about, that we're talking about, and you're thinking of him or her, is changing their mind right now. But see, it's one thing, again, to affect somebody mentally, but then to learn once and for all how you're going to keep this up, to make it permanent, in other words. That your automatic idea that is going out into the mind of this SP and to the minds of everybody else that, you really interested to affect. How do you maintain this? How do you make this permanent? How do you arrive at this stability and this automatic pilot of now being in your favor versus against you? That's the whole shebang. That's the whole shebang. I don't care what the situation is right now, it can turn around. In the minute that you're consistent with your thinking and you're consistent with your assumption of this person now realizing you were the best shit on earth, on planet earth, the best shit in their life, and how stupid were they to lose you? It can happen just like that, but you yourself have to be convinced. And don't tell me stories, or you tried it, it didn't work. Well, then you didn't do it the correct way. If you tried it, it should have happened by now. So, some of you, when you come into my coaching, I also offer touch-up sessions sometime after the coaching is completed. Sometimes it's 6 months, a year later, etc., etc. And it's good to touch things up. Sometimes there's just one last revelation, one last aha moment that clicks everything in. But you should absolutely walk away with the understanding of, I'm in charge and I know how to do it, and I know when I'm not doing it. In other words, if I'm working against myself, or if I'm not doing anything, quite frankly, I'm just being neutral about it and haven't gotten to it, well, then there's nobody to blame in that sense, not even you, but just get to work. That's all. Just pick it back up and claim that this is your decision entirely to have them run back. Your energy can switch to such a degree that you will literally not recognize this person. Just yesterday, let's just say, they told you something completely different, but now that you've been instructed with this information and you know how to do it, and you went through my coaching perhaps, do, you're like, not to worry, even if it's a shit show proposition, shit show answer, shit show whatever, not to worry, I know how to switch realities. Go into your state, meditate on the state of the desired reality, and really anchor into this reality. And completely say no to any other interpretations that you may have had before in your life. I know that this is a process, which is why I preface this by saying this is a process. You cannot achieve this overnight. But once achieved, you can never unlearn. You can never go back. Once achieved, you can never tell me you don't know what you're doing. So it becomes a practice every single day. But momentarily right now, what I can tell you is your own energy needs to come up to speed. If you're not expecting to be victorious in the situation, this is what needs to, drastically shift. That you are victorious in your mind before the victories on the outside goes without saying. And so this is what needs to be achieved in your mind. In your mind, the energy needs to shift to complete expectancy of this person now realizing what you realized. Your energy is expecting for them to run back to you. Your energy is filled with intentions of, this is it. We're getting married. This is the last time I'm living this shit show bullshit situation. And don't you know, just like you created a shit show situation, in the same way, if not fucking easier, way easier, you can manifest this person and live happily ever after. There's nothing easier than that. And I know it doesn't seem like that to you right now, but this is why I started this channel, because I've been there myself, where I thought there's no way, there's no answer, there's no nothing for me in dating. And I managed to pull myself out of it, pull myself out of this pattern, and become a completely different person, become a completely different version of myself, and finally get the relationships that I wanted on my terms, however, whatever that happened to be. Since I've been 32 for the past, like, I don't know, maybe, what is it now? Without giving away my age, over 10 years, let's just say. My life has been transformed, and this is why I wish the same for everybody, to really eliminate the stress out of your life. You don't really need to worry about things like a specific person or about your love life. You really just need to direct the energy on yourself and understand this is what will completely change the course of the events. Thank you very much for watching. All the information is below, and I'll see you on Saturday, 3 p.m. live. You need to book. I will send you the Zoom link. This is how it works. Read all the description. It's attached to the YouTube, and as well, you have it on my website. And I'll post the link below this video. But this is how I'm going to do it. It's an entry-level coaching. It's a way for me to interact with my audience directly and coach people that really need coaching. Okay, it's intimate, it's safe, it's good vibes, and that's what I'm going to go with. So for those of you who want to try this out or subscribe, for a duration of time, however you want to do it, you can buy it for the year, this and that. But this is how I'm going to do this on my channel, because that's what I feel is the right thing. And for those of you who need coaching, all the information again is below. And if you have any questions before booking, please email me. Thank you so much, and until next time, ciao ciao.